What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a mid-fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We're starting off by combing everything in place and then picking out the top of his hair. Now that we're done picking out his hair, we can move on to our entity outliners and create our first guideline. You always want to make sure you contour this guideline to the head shape so the fade can flow better. Now that we're done balding him out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You always want to make sure you make this guideline around an inch thick so you can spread the blend. Also, always remember to use your opposite hand to stretch the skin. Using your lever midway and all the way closed will help you erase that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to the one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. With this same guard, we're going to use the lever to soften up the line and get it ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the one guard, we can move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to the two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. Remember, we're going to use the lever again to soften up this line and get it ready for the half guard, the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using the 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using its corners will help. Moving on to our 3 guard all the way open, we're continuing to blend into the bulk and create our silhouette. Make sure you flick out and use the comb to feed the hair into the clipper. Now that we're done with our 3 guard and detailing, we can move on to our clipper of a comb and begin to sculpt the hair. When using clipper of a comb, once you feed the hair into the comb, you want to decide if you're going to debulk or blend. And when you debulk, it's at a horizontal angle, and when you blend, it's at a vertical angle. Now I'm moving on to my foreguard all the way open, and I'm debulking as much as I can. Now that we're done with our clipper over comb, we can move on to the top and start saturating the hair. There were a few dark spots that I saw, so I went back to my 1.5 guard all the way open and my 1 guard just to detail. Moving on to a C cup, we're going to start off at the bottom and work our way to the top arch. Always make sure you take your time and make sure the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. Moving on to the back of the head, we're starting off with our no guard all the way open and we're creating our second guideline. Now we're going to close the lever midway and all the way closed to help us erase that initial guideline. Also remember to stretch the skin with your opposite hand. We are nearing the occipital bone, so you want to make sure you spend more time here. Now we're moving on to our 1 guard all the way open. Again, we're going to use this same guard to soften up the line and get it ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 1 guard, we can move on to the half guard and erase the line completely. Now we're using the 2 guard all the way open and we're creating our 4th guideline. We are going to flick out as much as possible because we are nearing the top of the cowlick area. Once we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we're going to move on to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Before I used my clipper over comb, I made sure I debulked with the 3 guard all the way open and flicked out as much as I can. Now we're using the clipper over comb method near the calic area. You want to make sure you leave as much weight as you can and also take your time here. Moving on to the shear work, we're starting off by making our guideline through the middle and then working our way to the sides. You want to remember that I'm picking up the hair with the comb, then grabbing it with my fingers, and then cutting it with my shears. Here I'm using my blow dryer to dry the hair and make it stand out a little bit more. Moving on to the C cup, we're starting off at the bottom and working our way to the top arch. We're also making sure we go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. You also want to make sure you don't press too hard with the point of the teeth because it could cut them. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you leave a comment down below, I'm definitely going to reply to it. Now that we're done debulking the hair with the 1 guard all the way open, we can move on to the Annis T outliners and start off in the middle and work our way to the side. Here I'm combing down all his baby hairs and I'm making sure I get every hair and line it up. Make sure that you don't press too hard and make sure that you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the trimmer. Using our Turkish razor and Derby premium blades, we're going to do his eyebrows and make them as crispy as possible. When using the razor, you always want to keep it at a 45-degree angle and stretch the skin as much as possible. Also, you want to make sure you use shave gel. What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a mid-taper on my boy, so stay tuned. We're going to start off by debulking the edges with the 3 guard all the way open. He is trying to grout his hair, so we're not going to go too high. Now that we're done debulking with our 3 guard, we can move on to our clipper over comb and continue to debulk. Right here, we're just scoping the hair. We're making sure we have a clean canvas and silhouette to blend into. Now Now that we're done creating our silhouette, we can move on to our anti-outliners and create our first guideline. You want to make sure you're not pressing too hard so you can blend out this guideline easily. Now that we're done botting them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. We're then going to use the lever midway and all the way close to erase that initial guideline. Now we're moving on to our 2 guard all the way open, and we're continuing to debulk and flick out as much as we can. Now we're moving on to our 1.5 guard, and we're slightly flicking out the dark line that I see. Now we're moving on to our 1 guard all the way open, and we're continuing to flick out that dark line. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please give a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now that we're done using our 1 guard, we're gonna switch over to our 1/2 guard and erase the line completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can switch over to our 3 guard all the way open and continue to flick out. Remember, we're not trying to go too high because he is going to grow his hair out. Here I switch over to my 2 guard after using the 3 guard all the way open. Now that we're getting higher and the hair is getting very long, we're going to switch over to our clipper of a comb and try to blend in as much as we can. When I use the cutting blade horizontally, I'm debulking, and when I use the cutting blade vertically, I'm blending. Remember, you want to tilt the comb at a certain degree just in case you don't want to cut too much hair. Now we're detailing the side and removing this dark line that I see with the 3 guard all the way open, 2 guard all the way open, and then switching over to the 1.5 guard. Now that we're done with our 1.5 guard, we switched over to our 1 guard and we used our corners to remove the bulk. Now that we're done blending the edge of the taper, we can move on to our anti-outliners and make them as crispy as possible. I usually start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch, but since he is going to grow out his hair, we're gonna extend it over the ear. Now we're going to separate the taper from the top hair just so we could debulk it with the 1 guard all the way open. Now that we're done debulking the taper with the 1 guard all the way open, we can move on to a 4 guard all the way closed and debulk his beard. Mustaches are usually the most densest area, so going over with the 1 guard all the way open should usually be the right length. When you're near this part of the ear, you want to be very careful you don't nick them with your teeth of the trimmer. Moving on to the C cup, I'm starting my way at the bottom and working our way to the top arch. I always like to go slow and make sure the hair feeds into the trimmer. Now we're gonna line up the back of the beard. Now that we're done butting them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. Remember to always stretch the skin with your opposite hand. When I start to blend in the sideburn and the beard, I always start off with my no guard all the way open and then slightly close the lever. Before I line up the beard, I usually lay the client back. Here I'm using my previous guards to blend in the taper into the bulk. Moving on to our Turkish razor, we're gonna use our Derby Premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you.